So in this video we will be learning the very first verb conjugation table. Okay, so before we begin, let's discuss what is a verb conjugation table. Well, it is basically a table which you have to memorize. Okay, then you might be asking, why should I memorize it? Well, the same reason you memorize mathematical or other formulas. Okay, so what do you do in maths? I mean, you memorize a formula, let's say x square into y square or whatever it is. Then what do you do? Once you memorize it, then you replace those letters with real numbers. That you might replace the x with a real number and then basically kick out the x, and then you will remove the y and replace it with a real number. Similarly, once you memorize a verb conjugation table, then you build other verbs on that very same table. Okay, so similarly you do basically the same thing. You memorize a verb conjugation table, then you basically create other verbs on that very same table. Okay, so there are number of different verb conjugation tables. You have a verb conjugation table for past tense affirmative active voice, then you have a different table for past tense passive voice, then you have a different table for present future tense active voice, and different table for present future passive voice. Okay, so basically there are number of tables which you have to memorize. So before we start, in Arabic there are three tenses in verb: Mazi, Al-Muzariya and Al-Amr. Okay, Mazi stands for past tense. So in this video we are going to be studying about verb conjugation table of Al-Fi'l Al-Mazi. So this is the verb conjugation table of past tense affirmative active voice. Okay, which in Arabic you call Al-Fi'l, Al-Mazi, Al-Ma'ruf, Al-Musbat. So there are basically 14 forms you can say. Okay, so this side represents masculine forms and this side represents feminine forms. Okay, so what we basically have to do is we basically have to memorize this table. So once we memorize it, then we can create different verbs on this table. So for instance, this fa'ala is a verb which means he did. Okay, but it is also a pattern upon which you build other verbs. Okay, for example, here is the verb kharaja, which means he left. Okay, so here in this verb, this kha represents fa and this ra represents ain and this jim represents lam. So you can call this fa as fa kalima, this a as ain kalima, this lam as lam kalima. In English, I guess it is called as first radical, second radical and third radical. So here this kha is equal to fa kalima, this ra is equal to ain kalima, and this jim is equal to lam kalima. Now back to the tables. So actually I am not good at PowerPoint, so you can see the results. So there are basically 14 forms you can say. So fa'ala means he did, fa'ala means they too did, fa'alu means they all did. So in Arabic, apart from plural, you also have dual. Okay, fa'alat means she did, fa'alata means they two females did, and fa'alna means they all females did. So you can see that in all the previous 5 forms, lam had harkat on it. So apart from fa'alu, it had fatha, here it has dhamma, but with the coming of fa'alna, the lam will take sukun, then the rest will follow. So as I said that this fa'ala is a verb, plus it is a pattern upon which you build other verbs. So we also have to memorize this as a pattern. So fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna. Fa'alta means you, a male person did. Fa'altuma means you two did, that is dual. Fa'altum means you all did, that is men. So fa'alta, fa'altuma, fa'altum. Fa'alti means you, a female person did. Okay, so in fa'alta you had fatha on ta, in fa'alti you have kasra on ta. Okay, fa'alta means you, a male did, fa'alti means you, a female did. Fa'altuma means you two did. So this is basically same for masculine and feminine. Fa'altunna means you all females did. So fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altuma, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altuma, fa'altunna. Okay, fa'altu means I did. So it is same for both masculine and feminine. And fa'alna means we did, and it is same for masculine, feminine, dual and plural. Okay, so the whole table is like fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altuma, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altuma, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna. fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altuma, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altuma, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna. Again, fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altuma, fa'altum, fa'alti, fa'altuma, fa'altunna, fa'altu, fa'alna. So try to memorize this, okay, or just read it few times or listen to the way I read it. Just try to listen to it few times and see this chart, okay. Once you memorize this, you can practice it with other verbs. So here I am giving you an example with other verb. So akala means he ate. So what you did in this, you remove this fa with this hamza, this ain with this kaf, and this lam with this lam. These two lams are basically different. I mean, this lam is of akala and that lam is of fa'ala. So you basically remove those three letters with these three letters, that is akala, and the rest form is basically same, okay. Akala, akala, akalu, akalat, akalata, akalna, akalta, akaltuma, akaltum, akalti, akaltuma, akaltunna, akaltu, akalna. But first you have to memorize this form. After you memorize this form, so inshallah I will create a practice video next with other verbs. Then inshallah we can go to the next table, okay. Assalamu alaikum.